Well, we're at the CCA workbench this today with the Academy Sports and Outdoors rigs and techniques. And Dave, you have got so much stuff here. I didn't realize we needed all this to go wade fishing.
And you don't. And that's one of the things, it's kind of a little bit of a hypocrisy here, because most of the time when you go wading, you want to take as little stuff as possible.
Yeah, I'm thinking a couple of sand fleas in my pocket here, maybe a pack of hooks in my shirt.
I just got a lot of different stuff up here, a lot of different things. But
where are we going to start?
Anyway, the whole thing about wade fishing is it's a very peaceful, relaxing way to go fishing. A lot of solitude type things. But as far as the solitude goes, bring a friend, especially if you're going to some wild places. Like a lot of places that I started wading were wild places where I couldn't get with a boat, places that are, a long way away from other places, and no cell phone kind of things. Yeah. And so I always made sure I brought somebody with me, and you should too. If you're going to be wading, a lot of things can happen. Predators in the water, probably the least of our worries, but you can also get stung by a stingray. You could have a medical emergency. You could get stuck in a hole. You could get stuck in the mud. There's a lot of things that can happen to you. So always bring a fellow with you. So
just like when diving, bring a buddy.
Exactly. Always have a buddy with you. And try to wade in places that have good bottom. Not only will you catch more fish, but you're going to be more comfortable. You don't want bottoms that's going to be so soft that you're fighting it all day. Yeah. Your legs are going to get tired. You're going to get tired, and you're going to quit.
And there's nothing worse than being about thigh deep and getting one of those high butt cheek cramps, where because you've been in the mud all day, and you're like, okay, I've got a quarter mile to go and I can't get there.
Right, exactly. and the soft sand, if you're looking for a hard bottom, a nice, with some vegetation in it, preferably some grass, and shuffle your feet a little bit if there's stingrays around.
Always.
Hopefully you can see them. In a lot of places where we wade, you cannot. So shuffle your feet when you're wading, because that's probably the worst thing that can happen to you as far as a predator is going to happen to you. The sharks aren't going to be a problem usually. It's that little stingray that'll get you, and that's something that you don't want to happen.
Kind of feels like a branding iron for about 2 hours.
Exactly. You want to make sure you want to bring some good wade shoes. I use Converses a lot in the summertime when I'm wet wading, because you don't need to wear waders.
Right.
And
so good pair of high top tennies.
And keep them tight, laced up tight, because you don't want to leave them in the mud. And these are better.
Yeah.
These are Bart's Bay Armor. These are from Texas. These actually give you a little protection from stingrays and whatnot. And the side zip is really good to take them on and off. I mean, it's so much easier.
They feel like they're double welt construction.
Yeah, the side zippers are really great for all that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about our tackle storage. You want something that's not very big. When I used to do it a lot, we had fanny packs. Okay. And they would always... Well, this is kind of a different one. This is like a shoulder one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But the fanny packs would get wet.
Right.
If you get too deep, they'd get wet, and all your stuff, you'd have to rinse everything out. The backpacks work really great. You can put, one or two little boxes in here, and it's on your back and it's up high, so it's not going to get wet.
Well, like a regular backpack, it's got some nice padding to it. It's not going to really ride up on you.
Yeah, and then plus it's got little rod holders and stuff on it. The AFTCO in there.
Now, what's the tube for, Dave?
Well, you can put a camel pack in here. It's water.
Hydration.
You can put water or vodka or whatever you want when you're wading. But it's really, really nice to have it on your back versus on your front, or even on your. We would wear them on our backs to give us room in the front, but still it would get wet. And always make sure you're using a box. If you're putting little boxes in these things, use the ones with the O-ring seal that are going to keep it, because you might trip. You might, bend over and get down in the water and try to release a fish or something. You don't want your tackle box flooded with brackish water.
I'm in a boat, and honestly, I only buy these anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
If they don't have a seal around them, I don't even buy them.
Exactly, because these are the best, and they the Planos, and they will keep things locked up and dry, which is very important. Next, waterproof. I already talked about the tackle boxes.
Got tools. We got a live bait container.
We want to have good stainless steel tools.
Okay.
Something that can control the fish. When you're out there wading around, you're not on the boat. You can't, really control the fish, because he's swimming all around you. You want to grab him, something that'll get a hold of the fish and can control him.
A good lipping device.
Exactly. I like Boger grips. To me, they're the best. But this one's metal. And if you don't take good care of it and rinse it and everything, it'll mess up on you eventually.
corrode. Yeah.
So all the little plastic lip ones, they're really nice too.
Like a fish gripper.
Yeah,
or
the
one
fish
of those,
gripper.
yeah.
They'll work and will last a lot longer in the salt water. And I always like to have a good pair of pliers, and especially a pair of needle nose pliers when I'm wading, because then again when he's got it swallowed something down real deep inside of him, you can't get it out. A pair of needle nose pliers is key.
This is a good example of a working plier, where this is a good example of a plier to get, like,
just to reach in and get stuff
or something
out.
that effect.
Yeah.
This is a good example of a working plier because you've got a clip on here, which you can clip to your belt. You've got obviously your bungee, and the sheath has a Velcro enclosure to keep it from falling out and losing it.
Right.
Great pair of pliers.
Also, you want to make sure that you're using a good long rod, 7-foot rod like this. This is a Penn Fathom 2, I think, or
that one is the
Battalion 2. I'm sorry, the Battalion. And this is a 7-foot rod. You want something that's long that'll give you a long cast. 15-pound braid will cast a mile.
Yeah.
So you can use that with a 20-pound leader, and you'll catch just about everything that swims, wading or otherwise. And also, I always make sure when I'm wading, I bring a gallon of fresh water with me that I keep in the truck to wash everything off before I climb into my truck. If I wash my boots off, I wash everything down, because everything's covered in mud usually when I'm getting out. So I like to keep that 1 gallon to empty it out.
That's a great tip.
Got it. Okay, so boots, rod, backpack, no fanny pack,
Gallon
vodka.
water.
Stainless steel
water.
everything.